What's up, Digidestins? This is Kyle D, better known as RideMyAvatar, and today we're going to go over half of what you should be picking up. This will be the Bt-19, half what's left, and then we'll talk about Bt-20 and the other half video, which should be Monday. So without further ado, let's get in the video and talk about it. So if you guys know me well enough by now, I kind of do this every set. Cards from older sets you might want to pick up if you're planning on playing the newer stuff. So with Shoutmon ×6, there's only really not a lot that you'll be like picking up for Bt-19. A lot of that goes into a lot of the new support, just generalized fits for the deck. So like you want to pick up the new Nene, but you know, the Zenjiro, the Akari, and Taiki all come from, you know, previous sets, Bt-10, and all very dirt cheap. And then you have like Sparrow, Shout, Stars, then Shoutmon ×4, ×3, and then Shoutmon DX is kind of like the only cards that are consistently added into the deck. There are some other options you can add, like Crimson Blaze and removal spells, but outside of it, this is kind of just the very much factory default that you're going to want to pick up for sure. Now, you do have Blue Flare, kind of same boat, right? There was only a few sets that they kind of printed for the new Blue Flare. There was basically Bt-10, then followed by EX4, and some other stuff trickled in for flavor spice, right? You know, the Wanyamon you want to pick up, but anything that says Blue Flare, you pick up for. You know, it'll allow you to play the deck consistently, and you'll be very much comfortable to be playing the deck with no issues at the end of the day. I mean, Blue Flare is going to do Blue Flare stunning shenanigans. The new support really adds into some crazy combos, but kind of restricted to blue anyway, and you don't mind to be playing this style at all. So stuff like this does matter, and it's kind of cool to see, right? Oh, you know, would have been nice if it didn't skip over this, but you guys know that there is another wave of support for the Growlmon set, aka Gallantmon support. So with that, you do have Growlmon. Basically, if you've already picked up the Gallantmon stuff, you're golden. You're just doing a light upgrade in some spots. If not, you're starting from ground zero, and I pray for you. So with everything that's in the set, it's just a small upgrade. You play like the new stuff already that EX8 has given to us, and you just go to town, right? The deck is very powerful. Gallantmon, Gallantmon X, you know, all really good cards. These are kind of like your big staple cards you're going to be wanting to get copies of. Gallantmon X is 2 to 4 really range. This one, it's like a 2-of for the Bt-17. Then you have Gallantmon Bt-13, which is a 1-of. You want to make sure you have this Staccato, because this Staccato is the reason why you're able to attack when Digivolving shenanigans lead off. You know, you want the X antibody, at least 2 of this X antibody and 1 of this, just because it does come up. And it just, the rest of the support is kind of just, you know what you're picking up, right? You know, you have the Gallantmon, Gallantmon X, Growlmons, Black Growlmon plus Growlmon, the red purple variants. There are options as to be playing, but some players have opted out not playing these at all just because purple hybrid is a thing in the format. But there are some combinations, which is kind of funny as well, because if they're going to remove your stack, you can combo really interesting with the Protoform. If you have a Growlmon Ace, because the Protoform activates first, you remove the Growlmon Ace, and because game mechanics says overflow happens, immediately after overflow has to trigger. So because then all of a sudden that Gallantmon X stays on board. It's a weird gimmicky thing, but it does can come up surprisingly. You know, we do have Taomon. Sakuyamon does have an option of 2 ways of playing. One could be the Taomon loop, and then the other is for the more fun, you know, Kokiska tokens, which is just producing, you know, the pipe foxes and the, you know, Uka no Mitama token. So both are great options to be playing in the deck. If you want to go one route, nothing's wrong with that. You just play all the old Renamon stuff and just go from there with some plugins for finesse, right? if you are going the Talmon loop options, which is literally just Talmon Ace and Kazuyamon plus Sakuyamon plus Fireball, Kaiser Nail, Heroes of the Sky, plug-in S, Noble Family Arts, and then you like Ruin Mode, and then you play GG and Gallantmon just to help draw with, you know, Fireball and Hero of the Skies to just keep drawing cards. It gets you to be able to flood the board how you want to, and it leaves your opponent just having a bad day. So stuff like that does come up, and this deck has at least two styles of play, right? One being uberly toxic, the other one just right flavor spice. Now, we are getting into Terriermon territory. Terriermon has started popping back up on the meta's radar, and there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, people will have their options and opinions with the Terriermon support. You know, RideMyAvatar Ace is another card in the deck. You know, some lists are playing like this RideMyAvatar, but some lists are playing the Rapid X antibody with Mirage Galga Ace plus Medieval Gallant. Just leads into being crazy shenanigans with a Terriermon Ace Spice. Just a lot of good stuff across the board. And again, you just want to have this good stuff. Now, we do have Beelzemon. Beelzemon definitely is like just pick up the structure deck, similar to Terriermon. They're both very good decks, and you want to pick up the structure decks, but you know, you get to just do crazy Beelzemon shenanigans, and with its new ace, it's just really good. But basically, if you already had Beelzemon, you're just dusting off the deck just to add in 3 or 4 new cards. But if you guys haven't picked it up, you're basically picking up the structure deck, which gives you a bunch of it. Then you pick up a lot of commons and uncommons, and then you do have a super rare to snag in the form of Beelzemon X. But all in all, really good solid stuff. And I forgot Beelzemon X set 12, huh? Set 12 Beelzemon X. So that looked like this. So in set 12 there is an option that I need to make sure I grab, because if we forget that, people are gonna laugh at me. But 7-fold cluster. So a lot of this is just right here what you're gonna be most likely picking up. You don't need protoform for this. X antibody just does fine in itself, because again, you can loop it back with the Itmon X, the Ayamako, and all the great combo shenanigans you can do with the deck. Now, we do have other than Millenniummon. Millenniummon is very interesting for a lot of players as well. Again, this is basically pick up last set, and Lumia and Lumia Nene are really the only cards that are brand new for the list. You know, basically you're splashing that in, and Shoutmon as well, because that actually is what the deck really truly wanted to shine better with. Where did Shoutmon go? Rude. So Shoutmon just lets you combo off with the Nene Tamer, and that's really one of the bigger problems, was that it just didn't have that combination piece. But all in all though, guys, like Millenniummon, Z Millenniummon, Moon Millenniummon, all just make a very fun level deck. Like, the deck isn't going to be that crazy broken, especially with the Lumia and Shoutmon coming in. It just does a little bit of finesse that the deck originally wanted. And I think at the end of the day, we have great pieces around for Bt-19's old support. And then we'll be leading into like Bt-20 after this on Monday, so that you guys can get some answers and stuff like that. But Bt-19 really was like a small portion was taken out. And then they're just like, yeah, we're just going to throw this in just to be straight. Like, Gallantmon is really not missing much with its support, and it's still a great deck. You know, Blue Flare's really solid of a deck that did quite well in Japan early on, and then basically started slowing down like nobody's business. But, you know, you have Medieval Gallant, RideMyAvatar X, you know, Terriermon Ace. All this stuff does add up eventually, you know, and even Terrier just not is a bunch of small stuff. But, oh, I think I missed Justimon. That's what happened. I skipped Justimon. I was like, wait, I don't think I talked about Justimon, and I did not. So that's, thank God I went through this. I was like, I'm missing one. So if you guys don't know, Justimon is very interesting. When Justimon X antibody kind of just goes full circle, right? You know, they finally get all their devices that they have full access to. Mother D Reaper plus Shoto makes it so you can at least live with Justy, because you have to use like Cybergemon Ace and Cybergemon X Antibody. But you know, these are going to digivolve on top of your tamers, which will be the Shu and this, you know, Satsuki. So this leads up to being some great value, but a lot of it comes down with the fact that, you know, Justimon X can just copy any of their effects. So this leads into some powerful plays, especially with Blitzarm Ace, which, you know, does help out because it combos with your devices being able to be removed from play. So ends up being like, this deck is a fun local level deck. I wouldn't go too crazy ham on it, but it's up to you. So what do you guys think of the video? Let me know down in the comments. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you next one. Peace.